Okay, so this is my 200 follower video, or I think it went up to 205, and I think it's down to 203. Keeps changing. Well, where'd it go? There they are. I actually have quite a few questions because some people gave me like 30 at once. Meredith. So I guess I'm gonna start with these ones. The first one from Lara is favorite kind of bagel. I don't have a favorite. I eat all of them in every way. Like I'll eat plain ones with cream cheese or with butter. Everything bagels with cream cheese or butter. I think right now the one I really want the most is I want a blueberry bagel with strawberry schmear on it because that's really good. My favorite magic anon I've ever had. That one might have to be the one I've got now. The 26-year-old Hamish. That's really fun. I've been having quite a bit of fun playing around like that. Other than that one, it might be the one that started the matchmaker thread. It was, if I remember correctly, he was sent back in time to just after a study in pink, and he's supposed to get John and Sherlock together or he doesn't exist. We're still steadily working on that thread, even though it was like 2 months ago that I got it. But we're working through it. It's hard because it's a three-way, and then when it first happened, Brittany was gone for a couple days, and then Sarah was gone for a couple days, then I got a job and was gone forever. But we're slowly getting back to it, leaving each other messages and notes saying, hey, it's your turn. And I think it's Sarah's turn right now, if I'm not mistaken. So Sarah, no, it's mine. No, it's mine. It's sitting in my drafts, that's right. It's my fault this time. If Hamish were to write for you instead, or the other way around, what would he do? God, he'd kill me for everything I've put him through. Oh God. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes me jump off something, or I don't want to think about it. I'm not going to think about that one. What's Hamish's favorite food? Answered this one before. It depends on like kind of food. Like his favorite fruit is raspberries. His favorite dessert is rainbow sherbet ice cream. His favorite food is chicken, like any kind of chicken. He loves chicken. Cooked anyway. Yeah. What are you using as a tripod to make this video? I'm actually on my mom's laptop. I'm sitting in her apartment right now, so I'm using the webcam that's up on her laptop. Cheating. Crushed or cubed ice. Depends on the situation, because cubed ice lasts longer, so it'll keep the drink colder without like melting into it. But crushed ice is really nice to chew on. I like chewing on crushed ice, and that's what I usually do. So it kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. I don't stick to things like that. What are your influences for writing Hamish? The Tumblr user Dramatis Echo. I used to read through everything she's posted, all the parent lock stuff. I love all of it. I got on Archive of Our Own after I first saw it, and read through everything on there, and just kind of mixed it all together, and this is what I've got out of it. I spent a lot of time on Omegle before I actually made the blog, playing around with it to see how people reacted to it, and it was actually a lot of fun. So I was like, hey, well, this could be fun. And I actually made the smaller blog I have first, which is The Smallest Homes. I made that one because my roommate and his girlfriend said they'd make John and Sherlock blogs to go with it, and we'd have a fun little party. Except they didn't want to roleplay with anyone else. They just wanted to deal with Hamish, and they were never on, and they kind of dropped it. So I was like, hey, I'll go find other people to play with. And I got into that. And then Dio, who's still sleeping, then again, it's only 10:30, he said he wanted to make an Alex blog, but he didn't want to make it like 7 years old. So I was like, well, what if we do teenagers? I could make another one. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. So we did. And it's been a lot of fun. Of all your alternate universes, this is from Anonymous, of all your alternate universes, which one's your favorite? There's two. Relationship-wise, definitely the Jamish thing going on. I'm pretty sure that's been terribly obvious, especially with all the shit I've been getting for it. Definitely Jamish. Plot-wise, The Devil Inside AU. For those who haven't been following that one, what it is Alex and Hamish had been just kind of talking, and brought up things they wanted to learn to do, and Hamish said something about shooting, so Sebastian made an offhand, not quite serious comment about how he'd teach him. And Hamish thinks about it for a few days before going back and is like, yeah, I actually want to do this. And then a couple months later, it skips to Hamish goes and says something to Jim about wanting to work for him. And it's kind of a long shot thing that he was like, well, it couldn't kill me. Well, it can, but it wouldn't. Why not? I've got nothing to lose. And Jim says yes, sort of. So he works for Jim now. And then the other part of this one is another Merry-mish one, Meredith and Hamish one, because Meredith is Jim's daughter. And it ruins their relationship because she doesn't want it to turn into the same thing that was with Ciaran, is that how you say his name? Ciaran, something like that, where he was supposed to kill her, and she ended up killing him instead, I think. I'm still a little foggy on the details of that one, but Meredith's afraid that that's going to happen again, and Hamish is dead set on that not happening again, no matter what, and it breaks the two of them apart. We're still working through on what exactly is going to happen with that from there, but that one's definitely a lot of fun for plot. That was actually one of my favorite things to do in Omegle 2. I actually have the starter saved for it. I might post that one for you. That's how I met Jamie on here. Jamie Hooper, short for James. Or Jamie, short for James Hooper. One of those two. That was my typical Hamish giving in to work for Jim thing, and he turned it around as teenagers, and Jamie's beating the shit out of Hamish. I love that a lot. That was one of my favorites. Let's see. There's a lot of weird stuff in here. Okay, questions for the follower ready. The next 7 things are from Anon. Explain how Dark Hamish came to be. Okay, I thought of him as, well, actually, I'd been watching Old Fashioned Watson do the Dark John stuff, and was like, that looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I was like, why not? Okay, let's play with it. So I did a little bit of it once, and was like, oh, I like this. I'm going to keep doing this. So I kind of casually brought it in a little bit, not a whole lot. I do it every now and then. And then someone sent me a Magic-Anon where he was Dark Hamish falling out for an hour. And people started picking up on it and really enjoying it, so I kept it. And in story, how he came to be is when he was really young, Matthew was horrible to him, would tell him all sorts of terrible lies and beat the crap out of him, and Hamish would never tell anyone. He wouldn't, because he was, part of it was afraid of being judged for letting his older brother do this crap to him, and for believing it, and the other part is everyone loves Matthew, so no one would believe him anyway, as far as he's concerned. So he just kind of bottles it up for years, and then he's supposed to be like 4 or 5 when that starts happening, and about the time he's 9 years old, he snaps on some kid. Because some kid makes some sort of comment that's similar to one Matthew makes, and he snaps on some kid. Doesn't remember what happened. All he knows is the kid ended up with a broken arm, and he hasn't seen the kid since. And from there, it just kind of, every time he'd get too frustrated and couldn't handle what was going on, he would snap. And the more it happened, the more he was aware of it and could figure out what was going on, and the more that other part of him became a separate entity almost. Kind of like, not quite, it's kind of a cross between bipolar and different personalities. It's a little bit of the same thing. If you go on to my page, there's an explanation for it that basically says it's all the negative feelings that he's ever had. It's a yeah, that word of all of it. I'm not even gonna try. I'm stuttering so bad right now. Top 5 to 10 favorite role players. I don't want to rate people like that. Sarah, loyal blogger who waits, is my John, and I love her very, very dearly. And to match that would be Brittany, who's not a psychopath Holmes, who's my Sherlock. I love Perry, Hyperion Watson Holmes, or Hyperion Holmes Watson. Matthew, Simple Twin, them. I love Meredith so much. Lara is Meredith Annabelle Hooper. I love Zoe on both her accounts, especially James. I love Emily, motherfucking Moran, previously motherfucking Hitman. I don't know, I love everybody. I love Bonnie and Diana and Mycroft. I love that whole little side family situation. I love, God, everybody. I think one of my favorites that I watch but I don't interact with is Captain JHW. I'm really enthralled in the whole John Goes Bad situation where he works for Jim and all that. I love reading up on all of it. God, so much. One of my favorite gyms that I don't do a whole lot with, I'm trying to get more Sunshine and Suntex and Colonel Tommy Atkins Sebastian. I love the whole front they put up with the bookstore and the antique store. That idea is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I love it. What do you think would happen if the universe in which Hamish is with Alex and the universe in which Hamish is with James crossed over? I don't want to think about that. Things might explode. People will get really hurt. I personally don't see Hamish as somebody who could be with two people at once. I don't see him doing that to people. I don't see him having the capabilities of being able to do that. Like, his conscience couldn't handle that. The only way that would happen is if normal Hamish was with Alex and somehow Dark Hamish was with James. I could see that maybe. But still, they'd find out and shit would happen. Bad stuff would happen. Views on the Jameis ship in detail. I love it. I love it a lot. It's very interesting because Hamish doesn't love James. So it's not like that. He doesn't love him. He cares deeply for him. He wants to make him happy. He wants to make him okay. The biggest thing he wants is he wants to change him. He doesn't want James to think he's a monster. He doesn't want James to grow into the monster Jim becomes. He wants to stop that because James seems so scared of it that he wants to fix it. He wants to be the person that can fix it and keep it from happening and keep James to a sort of normal level. And then there's James, who has this sort of protectiveness over Hamish. That's kind of really, really cute when it gets there. How do you think Sherlock and John would react to Hamish's involvement with James? Oh, that's almost as bad as Alex and James. Well, obviously, everyone knows what happened between Moriarty and Sherlock and John. And Sherlock and John would see this younger version of him, see this teenage James, and I know John would be angry. John would try to keep them away, get rid of James, because he wouldn't want Hamish being involved in anything like that. Sherlock, on the other hand, might let it happen. It depends on the situation and how Sherlock feels, because he might see the potential of James not turning into Jim. I think. I'd like that. But I think I'm going to do my best to keep Sherlock and John out of this one. What do you most like and dislike about your character? I love, I don't know. I don't like or dislike anything. I'm kind of neutral about him. I like that he's got that bit of sass when that comes out, because it's fun to do. I dislike how hard it gets to write him sometimes and how hard it is to be consistent, because I've seen a lot of Hamish where he's more like John, he's more compassionate, and I've seen a lot of Hamish where he's more like Sherlock, but I wanted to keep it a consistent mix of the two, where he's got the brains and he's got the awkward social skills, but he still tries, he's still compassionate for people, he still cares, and he still tries to fix things, and yeah. It's very hard to be consistent with that. Why did I choose to play Hamish? I don't remember. I think the very first time I did it, I'd been on Omegle and was going through, and I had a bunch of different things tagged. And it was... I didn't have parent lock tags at that time because I wasn't terribly interested in it. But I ended up with an Alex who was asking, and I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll try it. And I really liked it. So I read up on all the stuff on it and was like, I like this. I want to keep doing this.